Welcome to Cities Skylines and welcome to the new city of Damascus. So what you're seeing are some scenes from the new map that we selected for this new city that we are starting today. And I want to give you a heads up on how do I actually start my city, what do I do, especially everything that I do before I even lay down some roads in the map, especially in regards like to graphics and looking at the map, what do we do here and there to make things working a little bit better and make sure that all works in our favor along the whole Let's Play series, and that we don't have any issues with the series, with the city growing in the future as well. So I'll get out of this view and start showing you what we have in here. This is our new map, and this map is quite cool actually. I really like it. I did just a test run on this. There are a few things that we need to adjust along the way, but I'll keep you posted on what that is and what we need to do. And I'll also actually pause this so we don't, although we don't have any roads, I don't think we'll spend any money on anything. So this is where we are. This is the starting square right here, and this is how it looks like. I really like this starting place. And the name of the map is called Yangtze, which I believe it's a river in China. This is the map that was made by Bringer of Fire, and it's a full vanilla map, so you can use that without any extra assets, even though you have like this beautiful dam in here, beautiful placed assets in the, like I was really amazed by some of the things that I found in this map, and I'm quite happy with the way it is. Like for example, these walls over here, I was like, how did, like, we don't have these assets in the game, and this is actually like a video screen that was just placed backwards in there, and then you have this impression that is actually a viaduct, which is like fantastic. I just love that. So very creative, really nice place to build around here. I really like the way the river goes through here as well, and some nice areas, although I feel like we need a couple more connections in here. So for example, we have this highway junction. I think we probably need something else over here, maybe something else over there, especially at the corners. We have one in here. We do have these two in there, but they are actually just connecting both sides. They are not access to the highway. If you look at this, and I quite like this. And if you know me, you know that I like this type of stacked roads, and look at that, just so good. But the roads there, they will just connect both sides, so they'll go out in here and they'll go out in there, and they won't connect to the highway. So we probably need to change that as well, maybe even add another highway connection in here. And although the initial block is here, I won't start the game in this area. I think this would be more high density, but as we always start with low density buildings, I will probably start around this dam, which will have like a nice village around here, and we'll make good use of this area as well. So before we get in there, we obviously need to unlock the 81 tiles so we can start building in that area. I usually don't do that, but at the same time, unlocking tiles along the way, especially the 81 tiles, it creates a lot of issues for the city, especially with metro. There are some issues with that. So this time around, I won't be constrained by that. I'll go up my list of mods, and then, by the way, list of mods is in the description of the video, and I'll unlock all tiles in there. So then we will remove one of the constraints that we have here, and we'll be able to start in this area. Now, you might see that the graphics are already a little bit different from what we had in our previous city. So we have, I'm still have like that warm tone, but we have more brighter colors now, and I think a little bit more of green, if I'm not wrong, in my colors. But I want to walk through what I do in terms of colors. So we're using Team Mixer, and for this map I'm using the theme that they recommend, so SCT Homecoming. This was the starting point, and then I've changed the color correction for the photorealistic look. So you can see that it's made by Reaper. So this is a pretty nice color, and that's what brings these nice tones of color. And I think when we have the buildings, this will look even better. You see what I mean very, very soon. So this is our first item there, first modes that we're using for graphics. I'm also using Relight, so you can see my settings in here. Brightness at 1, gamma at 0.25, contrast at 0.5, and for lighting a little bit more temperature to bring that warmth back, and removing the tints, moving it back to the blues as well. So minus 0.1, sun temperature kept at 1, and everything else is 0. Enable sky tone mapping, and I do have the add clouds mod, so you can see clouds moving around. I quite like that. And this is Relight. Now, also use dynamic resolution, and I move this to the max, so 300% at the moment. I was using it at 500 before. I decided to move this at 300 just to give us a little bit more performance. So as you can see, frame rates are pretty low as it is, even though we are using just vanilla assets at the moment. And I'll try to keep only vanilla assets. Well, not only vanilla assets, but I'll try to keep at least the forests using the same trees that you see over here and here. So that's the idea there. So using that at the maximum. If you don't have like a high-end spec PC, don't do that. Keep it at 100% or 150 at maximum if you want a little bit more, and that's all. So don't do more than that. So this is dynamic resolution. I am using, let me just close that. I am using realistic population as well, and I'll show you. So what this means, this brings, like, usually a small house in Cities Skylines, they have, I think, from 3 to 5 households. Realistic population put 1 household per house, which makes more sense. This makes the game a lot harder at the beginning, but when you get to high density, you get a lot more households in those buildings, because it calculates depending on the amount of floors that you have on the buildings. The more floors, the more households you have, so it's a lot more realistic, hence the name. But this changes the game dynamics completely, because you may have at the beginning, like, let's say 1 block of industry, and you have like several like 5 times more blocks of residential than you would have. So unlocking new stuff at the beginning is a lot harder than it is down the line, but also makes everything a little bit more realistic. I'm using everything on default, so I'm using the, I'm not really changing, but it's mostly US high-rise default, single dwelling default, everything that's default I'm using. So as you can see, every single option, everything is set to defaults. For schools, everything to default as well. You can have like other items in here to calculate your population. I am keeping everything on default as well, because I don't fully understand all these calculations that are going into here yet. And as you can see, there is a lot in here that I don't even know what to do, but it's there and we are using all of this, right? So we have a realistic school student capacity as well, which changes the capacity for the schools that we have available, and the properties as well. Crime, I left this on default. I don't know if that will be too much or too little. We can see how this goes and change along the way if we need to, but that's what we have. One mod that I forgot about the graphics that I use is FPS Booster. This helps quite a lot with keeping frame rate stable. So these are the settings that I'm using if you want to take a look at and do this for yourself. So there you go. This is what we have. Now, this is basically all the setup that I go look for. Other things that I look for as well are the connections from the outside world. What I usually do is make sure that we have a lot more space between the corner to the first node in here. Otherwise, trains will get stuck. So I usually go around the map looking for those connections and adjusting that just to make sure that we don't have any major issues down the line. So like we need to fit at least a full train in there. So I go all around the map trying to find all these connections. Like this one is, I was just like, what's this line there? But this is just the edge of the map. And then I will just adjust this. I'll try to keep them symmetrical just because like this is so well done and I want to just keep things as close as the original as possible. And yeah, so we have one there. Roads, I don't really care about it, but I'm just worried about the train lines. Those are the ones that concerns me the most because that's usually where we have the issues. We have both connections over there, so that's good as well. And there we go, we are back here where we started, and I feel like I should move this a little bit further. There we go. Cool, all done. And back to where we want to start here. And the way I want to do this now is think about a little bit of history for this as well. I don't want to just build things around like we were doing so far. I want to bring some context to what we are doing. So I believe that with the construction of this dam over here, which by the way provides 1000 megawatts, which is quite good for city start, we had the need for people living close by to work on this dam because we need to provide power to big cities. So what happened in here is that this area was used to create that new suburb to actually provide workers to this dam. And that area started to grow quite a lot because people would then start to fish around this dam because these waters are very quiet and quite deep. So they would bring more families into this place, and the land was pretty cheap as well. You could just come in and settle, and then this area would be very residential. Then some commercial to attend those populations will start to come into here, and then the commercial would go a little bit more inland in this area, providing the commercial goods that these people would need for this area. That was followed by later some industries taking advantage of the people that was in this area. We start to see a lot more people than jobs available. So the only options would be to work on the dam or work on the commercial area. Then some industries came to this area, taking advantage of the train line that we have into this, which would be easy access, which then we expand the industry to this side and make a connection for cargo in there as well. And then this area started to thrive. But this will be the start of our city. Again, the name of the city is Damascus. I almost went for a new city starting with A, but then I remember I promised I made for everyone and said, not this time. So yeah, this is how we are starting this then. This is the area we will have to work. So, good stuff. How do we go about this then? One of the things that we will have to do, and I won't do it straight away just because of cost, is to actually do some lane mathematics on those roads in here. I think this is something that we are missing. Do that later on. Don't worry about that. But I feel like we want to think about the grid system that we are using. I can show you the elevations or anything like that. There is very little change in elevation, especially near here. Although closer to the water, it like you just have this increase of elevation, and there is a nice hill in here, followed by the mountains at the back. So we are building on this, on the top of this area, not building around the water in there, and I want to keep that way. So what I think we can do is probably bring an avenue in there, and I feel like we will go straight and do some sort of waving in here. This avenue will actually help with all this area, and I want some sort of a little bridge in here, because in theory, when this, I don't know, if the water level grows, this is where the water will go. That's why we have more trees in this area as well. And water from here will feed into there. When it's raining, water will go through the mountains, will get in here, and this will flow through there. I'm trying to keep the terrain as well placed as possible, and this is what I'm doing in this area. So as always, let's start building something. We just do a small piece of road there, so we unlock some other options. There we go. And then we start looking at some 4-lane road, because this is what this will be, not 1 by 1 there, that will be 2 by 2. And the challenge is getting that in the middle. But I think what I can actually do in here, we can always use the gravel, because that's much cheaper if you want to find the right position for everything that you're using. I can also try, I need to find the middle here. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want to bend or snap anywhere. I just want a nice guide for me over there. And then we go back with this one. And now we are snapping, good. And then I can go straight there. So we will go straight all the way over here. And then we will start bending these slightly. I don't want to do too much, although these might go straight, and then just want to avoid these trees as well. And that's where I'll stop for now. Maybe we do the elevated roads in here. Not that we need to, but I think that'll probably be the right thing to do. So in there, I can't really see the elevation, fortunately, but I feel like we can go a little bit further ahead, make this elevated, and just go over there. We have to move some trees later on, but that's fine. We can definitely do that. And this is something that I want to do as well that's different in this Let's Play than from previous ones. I want to bring you along a little bit more for these builds. I want you to be part of this with me, so you can see what's happening, how this is happening, and what I'm thinking all along the way. That's the idea, at least. So as I mentioned, these should be, oh, we don't have access to highways yet. I believe, yeah, we don't. So these will have to be a one. You know what? I will remove this and will make this. And here we go, starting to use node controller, making this a lot better, I hope. What's happening here? It's not looking great, actually. So let me try to fix this one as well, see if we can make this a little bit better. I'll move this back a little bit so we have space. As you can see, when this is red, cars will slow down quite a lot because that's not working properly. So we need to make these lines look green. And now they're both green and looking a little bit better as well. So don't need to do much right now. I think this might be more than enough. Make sure that they can go straight in there, and that's what we need in here. Can also make this a nice roundabout if we feel like that's the best thing we can do, or we can leave it this way for now. In terms of road layout, as I mentioned, I want industry around here. So what I'll start doing, I will bring some roads in here, and for the industry I will, although we have like some elevation in there, but I'll try to work with the elevation and also with the terrain that we have in here. I'll bring these roads potentially. Now I'm thinking if we actually should have a roundabout around here, and I think I'll do it over here. I'll do a 7x7, and the way we do this, we use this one and just go 9°, 7 by 7, but I need to make sure that I'm snapping. So 7 by 7, and we go around doing the same. 7 by 7, 7 by 7. I did that one wrong. Let's try again. 7 by 7. There we go. Cool. Now I can potentially remove this just to make sure that this is all right and that we have this properly set up. Yeah. And then we will brace this so we can add roads in here. I prefer to use these simple roads instead of leaving the one we had before in there. It's just easier to handle. So that's why I'm using that. And from here, I believe I can do, well, something a little bit nicer in there. I want to bring this over there. I will just do this so I have some direction in here, because what I want to do, I want to bring this one from there into there and this one from there into there, and then we remove this one. And now we have that nice connection over there, right? So with that, it would be a little bit easier for people to getting in and out of these roundabouts. We will change these to a 3-lane roundabout when we unlock those roads. Right now, this is all we can do, so keep it that way. And then we will probably curve this around. What I'm going to do, oh, this is actually looking wrong. Let's do that again. So starting here, go straight up there. There we go. And then I said that I wanted to do a parallel road in there. So what I'll do, I'll bring this one all the way back there, and probably I'll do this, right? And then when we get here, what I'll do, I'll probably do 5 there, 5 here, and then I'll remove all of this and make a nice curve as well. So we go 5 and 5. There we go. And from this, I'm also thinking if this should be a major highway, but for the moment I think I'm happy with this one. I'll probably go all the way there, and then I will redo this bit of roads, although I did it wrong. There we go. And then we might do another one here. I also want to make sure that we keep like waste and garbage, all that stuff, as far as away as possible from the residential and water supply, all that sort of stuff. So I'm bringing this a little bit further into this area. I don't know how far I want to get into this slope in here, but I think for the moment we might be all right there. I'll also bring this one all the way over here and try to bring parallel roads in there, just so we can have like some industry closer to the highway in there. There we go. This will be more than enough for industry at the beginning. We definitely need to go for some residential now, otherwise we will be, well, we have problems. That's what we have. So this will be residential, right? I want something nice and large like that. I'll bring this one over here. I think I actually did this one wrong. I'll have to move that a little bit further and add a couple more roads in here. And then I'll remove those for now, at least for now. Now, next to the river, what I want to do, I want to bring some roads like this. And for now, I'll just keep it in there, just so I know where this will go and what we are doing over there. I also want to bring a road over here, and this one will go straight there probably, and this will go straight over here. And as you know, this is what to do in there. One there, one there. Can remove this one, can remove this one. I'll probably do the same thing in here, although I think I'll leave this one like that, and this one as well. I think this is how this is going to look. at least for now, just so we have some options into this area. And as I know, we'll need water. I can't forget water. I've done that in the past and this is not great. Now, where are we adding water in here? That's a pretty good question, actually. I don't want water too close to the commercial, to the industrial. I might do water up here, actually. Let's do it. Let's do water in there. And for some reason, showing the water map is lagging everything. Why? There you go, we can do it. I'll do it over there, over there. Probably, yeah, I have to do it over here. And then we do one from there to there. Right? And then from the middle here, I want to get right in the middle. We go straight through this. I think we can connect straight there. Just want to make sure that this area has water because we will use that very soon. And in here, in there, and I think I can probably start over here. There we go. How do we make them both happy? Start over here. There, I think that'll be enough for water at the moment. All right, so that means that we probably can start with some households in here to start getting a little bit of money as well. I won't overdo on commercial or not this one or industrial. We will go quite heavily on residential though. So for industrial, I'll literally do this for now, just to see how that goes. And then we press play and we see how that all works. I think one of the things that I've noticed in here is that I need to make sure that people can actually turn left, otherwise they won't be able to get in this area. And same thing on this side, so they can actually get in here. Here this is fine, and yeah, here this is fine. So probably set these roundabouts properly. There we go. And we should be okay. Oh, there are a few things that I need to do here. Just make sure that they go into the right place there. Though this is probably the wrong road. Like I would really like one lanes in here, at least for the moment. But oh, you know what? I have another way to do this that I think would be a little bit better. We can use these and yeah, just make them turn left. We do the same thing here. And yeah, that one is all right. So this should be a little bit better. And there we go. We have our first buildings being built in here. And that's what I mentioned to you about the graphics. I really think this looks quite realistic and quite good, especially the reflection of the whites in there. And I'm quite happy with how this will look like when the city grows. So I think this will be pretty big for us. But while this grows, we also need some waste management and I'll go for the inland treatment. I won't go for the eco version right now because this has double capacity and we actually would need more capacity now than anything else. So I think this is the best option for us right now. I'll put this over here. I obviously would bring some pipes in there. We need to connect to that area. I said we need to connect, right? What's happening? Have we lost? Yeah, we lost the setup in here for some reason. Let me try that again. There we go. This one goes there. And then we can start treating waste. So we desperately need more house as well. This would be our top priority in here. I think I will use a grid-like pattern in here and break that with the roads that we have working with the terrain in here. I think that'll be a nice way for us to do some of these things in here. I also don't want to make like huge blocks, so I'll cut this in some areas. Some areas we won't even connect. I don't want like thousands of connections in there as well. And we are running out of money. So speed things up, get some people moving in. We're spending quite a lot of money now. We can certainly add more pipes in here. And I'll do as much as I can until we get some money and start bringing more people in. This is our main priority. There we go. We can go actually a little bit further. I can go all the way over here. These actually look a little bit weird. I might change this road slightly. Although to do that like this costs money, yeah, and now I don't have the money to do it. This is fine, we will wait, we're starting to see more money coming in. Just have to wait a little bit for the city to start to grow and look at all them come. So, I love the look of this city. Really like this big lake at the back here. Everything looking so good. And we have a big bite at the corner here and pancakes as well, really nice. So now it's just a matter of waiting for the city to grow, people to start to come, and the money to start to flow in as well. And I believe this is where we leave for today. So as they start to come, like money will start to be better and we'll start to make money, so I'm not worried about that. Just you can see new buildings being built and the actual income getting better. If we want to, one of the things we could do is decrease budget for these options. Like we probably don't need as much budget for water, but we are almost in the green over there. So nothing like a couple of new houses coming and we should be good. So I won't worry too much about that. But yeah, if you are in this situation and you want to make sure that your money is good, let me show you this anyway. I think you can like just turn your budget down for roads, for water, especially at the beginning, and for power. Although we are not using any money on power because we're using the dam that we have in there. So you can do that. Just decrease how much money you spend on these things, especially on the roads at the beginning. You can just go as low as you want. Keep an eye for how much water you have as well. That's very important. And yeah, you should make more money. There we go, making money now. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm just enjoying the view in here. I'm quite enjoying this city actually. This is looking quite nice and quite green as well. Let's take a look close and see how this neighborhood is looking like. Maybe we go down by the waterfront in here and we look at our house. Oh, this car is pretty expensive. But yeah, with that, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Damascus city. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have any ideas, let me know your suggestions as well. And please don't forget to leave a like and consider watching the video on our screen, because I think you might like that. So thanks a lot, and I hope you have a good one. Bye bye!